Okay, I'm here with actor Shalim Ortiz, who is his new show, Grand Hotel, will be premiering tonight on ABC.
Yeah.
Before we get into Grand Hotel, though, let's delve a little deeper back in your life. When did you first decide you want to be a performer?
Well, my story goes back when I was 6 years old. My dad was a big shot TV producer in Puerto Rico, and he had multiple shows at the time. And there was this specific one, a kids show called Little Angels, Los Angelitos. And I happened to go with him one day on set when he was filming, and I saw what he was doing. And don't ask me why, but I was like, I want to be a part of that. So that was it. You know, I opened the can of worms, and I've been hustling since.
Yeah, you definitely have been. Was there any reservations on his part to have his son get into the arena so young at age, or?
Well, I think my father was always very cautious and always supervised, everything I did at the time. So I felt very protected always. He would always make sure that I was okay. So there was never any fear of taking a wrong turn at the time.
Right. How much longer after that did you decide this was something serious? I'm definitely going to do this as a career. Did you have a backup in mind?
Well, I lived a pretty quote normal childhood. I went to school, high school, university. So I did have a big window where I wouldn't do that much entertainment. And I think that confirmed that I really wanted to do this. I think a key moment must have been when I joined the Thespian Society of Performing Arts in Miami, and I started doing theater at 13, 14. That was one of the moments when I was like, I really love this, because I was doing it for the love of the arts, no other reason.
Did getting that immediate reaction also draw you in as well, since you were performing live in front of people?
Yeah, the crowd responds. You feel that adrenaline kick that a lot of people talk about. And although I haven't done that much theater in my career, I've always respected and loved it, and it's something that I see myself always going back to at some point, just because of that.
Now that you can look back on your theater experience, did it help you in any way in performing now in film and television?
Yeah, I think it helps you. It helps you face your fears. You're completely exposed on a stage, and it's a way to. It's a reassurance, to make sure that you are doing this for the right reasons and that you will commit to something like this, But just like most people, like most artists, I've also gone through some very dark times, and I've also gone through some moments where I didn't know where I was gonna go, what I was gonna do. Even when I jumped into music, when I recorded when I did two recording albums with Emilio Estefan, there was also a lot of uncertainty there as well. So I think those dark times also teach you a lot and confirm whether you want to keep doing this or not.
When you parlayed over into music, did you write your own music, and did those dark times influence what you were performing and putting out there?
Yes, I did. I co-wrote a great deal of my songs, and it was a learning process as I was doing it. There was obviously a lot of what I was feeling at the time translated into the music. But funny enough, it's like after I did 2 albums, I really started getting into the music writing on album number 3. But because things happened and the recording industry started taking a different shift and turn, I didn't even get to release that 3rd album. So when I was starting to really make very intimate choices about the songs that I was writing, I had already done the leap to acting. So
Gotcha.
It was kind of weird.
Yeah. Now, I would assume when you were performing in these arenas and on stage, it was a heightened version of theater with the amount. What's it like having 30,000 people screaming for you? And it's got to be insane.
It's another beast. Yeah, it's a completely different feeling. I talk about it, and it was such a long time ago that it feels like a dream.
Yeah.
I can understand why performers will get that adrenaline rush whenever they would perform. But funny enough, it's not something that my core needed, in order to feel fulfilled. And I think that's probably why I always went back to the acting, because I loved the intimate format, the more personal, process that it is to like make a movie or make a, you know, even a character like Mateo from Grand Hotel. It's a very intimate character. It's a character that dwells a lot in his office, and his surroundings are very, you know, dense and very personal. So I like that. That moves me more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, once you put this in on hold and went back into acting, you start on Heroes.
Yeah.
With Danya Ramirez. What was that experience like for you?
Wow, Heroes was incredible. It was the first. It's when I started getting my feet wet on mainstream television. At the time, it was a huge success, 23 million viewers. And we played the Wonder Twins that spoke Spanish. It was an amazing experience. You know, it was great to speak Spanish, subtitled on a primetime show. At the time, it was very ahead of its time. You know, and it's a lot of what's happening right now. So it was great.
Was there a storyline that sticks out from that show for you?
Out of all the storylines?
No, out of yours. Like, were there certain things that you did that you look back and think were so cool that you got
on Heroes?
On Heroes, yeah.
Oh well, you know, I mean, just working with Zachary Quinto, you know, and I didn't get to have scenes with Milo Ventimiglia, but even hanging out with him and Hayden Panettiere, everybody was so sweet, you know, and they were so welcoming when I jumped on board because they were already very successful from season 1. So that was a breath of fresh air, you know, to hang out with these people in such a nice way.
Yeah, and you're also, you know, a big movie star as well. What are the differences to you between working in film and television?
You know, working in film depends on where you're shooting a film as well, because I've done films in the Dominican Republic, in Mexico, in LA, and they differ because of the work ethics and the style and the way they do things. But there is a beauty in each one of them, you know. In Dominican Republic right now, the film industry is growing incredibly. But by the time that I did the movie, I did back in 2006, I did a movie called Junior, which was a pretty social film that people still kind of talk about because it was about social classes and two friends. When I did that at the time, it was challenging. You know, there wasn't a lot of resources. But people were really hungry to do something good. So that's all. There's also a beauty to that. You know, so it depends where you shoot a film. Yeah.
Let's chat about Grand Hotel.
Yeah.
Mateo, you play Mateo. Let's unpack him a little bit. What's he about?
Mateo is an interesting character. He's economical with his words. You can't really read him off the bat. You know. There's more than meets the eye. He definitely has his own personal agenda, and I think throughout the season we'll find out what that is. You can see from the trailer and from episode 1 that he's got some leverage over Santiago, the owner of the hotel, and that's going to definitely create a complicated dynamic between Mateo and Santiago throughout the season. And may I add that it was just an honor to work with Demian Bichir, you know, on such a great storyline between us.
Do you get to go toe to toe with anybody else that you can not give away secrets? But is there a similar relationship?
There are relationships just as tense. I can't give them away because he, you know, I think part of the beauty and the attractive part of the storyline with Mateo is you don't know who he's dealing with next, you know. But obviously there's money and power, two very key elements on Mateo's storyline that are going to be playing a very important role. And those things obviously will correlate to the stresses that the hotel is going through. So
what attracted you to the project?
I had done a pilot for ABC the year before called Las Reinas with Sonia Braga, which was a great pilot. It was about like this narco family in Miami Beach, present time. And I had a feeling that ABC wanted to do something with like a prominent Latino cast a year before Grand Hotel. So although that show didn't go through, I feel that's when ABC kind of found out of me and knew of me, you know. And then a year later, Eva started producing this, and they reached out to me to send a self-tape from Mexico. I was shooting a movie at the moment, and I sent it from Mexico, and they seem to have liked it, and the rest is history. But I've known Eva for many years. I just never got a chance to work with her until now.
What's it been like working under her?
Incredible. Eva is just a generous human being, dedicated, passionate. extremely passionate about her work and her team, and she really puts a lot of trust into the people she hires for a specific task, and that's, you always appreciate that. So she always made you feel comfortable. She made you feel confident, and made you feel just good about what you bring to the table. So she's great. I have nothing bad to say about her, seriously.
Now, you also starred in some telenovelas, and she started out on The Young and the Restless, which is American soap operas. You guys trade war stories on what it's like to work on the daytime area?
No, I mean, I mean, sometimes we talk about it, but let me tell you, man, I don't think I would ever stop doing novelas. I love doing them, and I think one of the key things of being a Latinx actor this time that we're living right now is that you juggle between both markets, you know. So novelas have obviously elevated to another level of quality and storytelling, and it's a renaissance era for that format as well. So I love to be a part of both of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How would you describe, if you had to sum up Grand Hotel to lure people in, which the pilot episodes and the teasers are already doing, but how would you describe it?
It's an upstairs downstairs drama full of mystery and big question marks of who did what, and it's embodied in this beautiful Miami Beach backdrop setting with, you know, beautiful people, and just a hotel that is going to have a lot to offer through the season.
That's awesome. It looks so fantastic.
Yeah.
So on the flip side of that, are you involved in any charitable organizations? Do you put your celebrity behind any specific charitable causes?
I was for a while the Alzheimer's Association, because my father passed away of Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
So I was an advocate for that, for diabetes as well, because my father suffered diabetes. So I have been very present with those two, and yeah, every time they call me, I always say yes. So yeah, those are two causes that are very dear to my heart, because my father suffered from both of them.
Yeah, and it's great that you can put your celebrity and have a platform to speak out on.
Yeah, of course.
This show is filled with a mostly Latinx cast.
Right.
What is that like to see representation on a major network show? And does it even play a story other than the characters being in Miami Beach? Is it just a show about people who happen to be Latinx? That's
correct. This show is diverse, and it's magical because these are people in power positions and in any type of positions that happen to be where they're from, you know. And that's how Miami is. You know, this is a show that celebrates the reality of what's happening in the United States and in the world right now, especially Miami Beach. You know, you get all these CEOs, they're all Latinx, and they're all, you know, first or second generation Latinos, and that's what makes this incredible. You know, Eva is, I believe, one of the biggest advocates for this movement that's happening right now, and to make sure that this doesn't stop. So I thought it was a great decision to make the premiere in Miami Beach, because she was able to share with the media and with the people that the Latino community needs to support this kind of content, so that we keep doing shows like this with Latinos in important roles.
Absolutely. Television needs to be a representation of the world.
Yes.
When it's not even trying to be, it should just be all inclusive.
Exactly. And it's taken a while, and it's important to know, you know, the path that's happened, you know, to get to this point. But I think it's a good time. What
do you do on your downtime when you're not filming?
I got 3 boys, so they live in Florida, and I go visit them quite often. You know, I kind of live between LA, Mexico, and Florida, and downtime is usually with the boys. I love traveling. I love, you know, just going to new places. I actually went to Morocco for the first time, to Marrakesh, and that was a total culture shock, and it was fascinating. So when I have a chance, I love traveling, and I'm a foodie too. So
me too. So when are you traveling this summer, or do you have any projects lined up that you're going to be filming?
Right now, I'm in talks with a couple of projects in Mexico and a couple of things in LA. But right now, these next couple of weeks, we're just dedicated to releasing the show and trying to be present.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
You.
I cannot wait to see the show tonight.
Thank you.
And hope you enjoy the rest of your trip here.
Yeah, I hope you all enjoy Grand Hotel.
Did you get to do anything fun while you were here, or was it all publicity?
I went to Restoration Harbor. I went to the meatpacking district, so It's a beautiful area, so I hung out there yesterday, and
That's awesome.
yeah, my brother and sister live here, so I'm gonna see them in a little bit. So yeah,
Very
excited.
cool. Thanks so much.
Thank you, pleasure.
Take care.